Hi there viewers, in this video I would like to speak about a very unusual topic, but I think that you will find it beneficial if you decide to use the technique that I'm going to describe. And this technique helps you to attain features that you might not have but you wish to develop, such as compassion or maybe opulence mindset if you struggle financially. So the problem is that if you don't have in your environment people that have achieved what you want to achieve, have the qualities that you want to have, it might be difficult to develop those qualities yourself. But of course, there are aids in order to do that. For example, if you read books of people who have the mindset that you would like to have and so forth. But in this video, I would like to focus on another technique that is occult, and occult doesn't mean bad, it just means unknown. It's kind of a hidden technique. Not many people know it, but I believe this technique to be the easiest one that you can use to develop the habits that you would like to have. Because if you live in an environment that is not supportive in developing the qualities that you would like to have, and you hang out and around you are people who you don't like to be like, then chances are it will be very difficult for you to develop the qualities that you would like to have, unless you isolate yourself from those individuals and then create how to say, you have to put yourself somehow in the environment. It could be created in your mind, in which you eventually would like to find yourself, and also being surrounded by the kind of mindset that you would like to have. Because if you're with friends that have negative qualities, eventually you will become like them, because you might consciously know that you would not like to develop qualities that they have, but unconsciously, if you are with such people, you're taking on those qualities, and you might not even realize that you're becoming more and more like the people that you hang out with. So if you don't like to be like those people, then I highly advise you to isolate yourself from those individuals and instead surround yourself with books written by the people that you would like to be like, the qualities that you appreciate that those people possess. And this is, again, I said, not about this kind of technique, but about a more occult way, because quite a few people know that if you want to change yourself, you must create that different environment. So reading books and also looking at pictures of the environment you would like to be surrounded by. But another technique that in this video I would like to focus on is to do with astral traveling. And no, you don't have to learn how to astral travel to accomplish this particular technique, but it does involve a lot of astral action. So I think this technique is really easy and it gives amazing results. And this technique is about finding the person that you would like to be like, or the person whose qualities you would like to have. And of course, everyone is unique, but if you see something in a person that you like unconditional love or compassion, and you don't yet have those qualities, then what you can do is to continue thinking about that person, and especially to think about that person before falling asleep. Because if you do this, what will happen is that your astral body will go to hang out with that person. That's what will happen. You might, if you, for example, don't write down your dreams, you might not know that this is what's happening, but this will happen. So you might wake up not knowing that what happened in the astral is that you were with that person, you were hanging out with that person. And if you do this often enough, you will acquire those qualities of that person, but it only will become so if more time is spent thinking about that person and being with that person than by being with people that you don't like to be like. So the best way to make this technique work is to isolate yourself from individuals you don't like to be like, and then to continue thinking about the person you would like to imbibe some qualities from, to continue reading the materials that a person publishes. Maybe he's a creative person, so you watch what he creates, you try to understand it. Maybe he's a writer, then you keep reading what he wrote and just analyzing his personality. If he's doing some interviews on TV or something like that, you analyze that person. You really want to know the essence of that person, and you go to sleep with that thought, and the astral body will travel to that person and be with that person. And it's going to be the same like you would hang out with that person in physical life, but it's just going to be in the astral plane, because these bodies, we pay so much attention to them, and of course we should pay attention to our bodies since we as long as we live in this physical plane, but it's actually, they're just like clothing for the astral and other bodies. So we don't even feel through these bodies. It's the astral body that feels, and not this clothing, physical clothing that we wear. So if you hang out with people in the astral that you would like to be like, it's exactly the same as you would meet those persons in the physical. And what will happen after some period of time, that you will see your attitudes are changing, whether you remember those astral experiences or not. If you fall asleep with the thought in mind of being with a person that is your role model, trying to understand that person, then truly you will be with that person in the astral, and you will see that your mind is changing, your mindset is changing for the better. If that person, of course, whom you chose as a role model is good. And what sometimes happens is that people can hide really well who they are in the physical. So they can appear through their personality, which is mask. Persona is mask in the English language, as translated from Greek. So what you sometimes realize is that it's just a mask that they are projecting, and it's the false persona that they are projecting, and it's not really them. So what astral experiences also allow you to see is that who people really are in their essence. And so sometimes you see the person in the physical, and then you really think about who that person is. You go to sleep, you travel astrally to that person, and the essence is completely different. And it's so surprising. Sometimes you cannot really tell. So that's why it's good to remember your dreams, to write down your dreams, because sometimes it's not dreams, but the actual astral experiences that happen, and you will remember them too. So if you remember your astral travels, that would be really good, because then you would be able to select the right person. And if that person that you selected as a role model is just projecting false personality, you will know that if you remember your astral experiences. So if you select the right person, you keep falling asleep thinking about that person, you try to understand their view of life, what made them the persons that they are. You are exposed to their art, you watch their interviews, you read their books and so forth. Then it's the same as hanging out with that person, and you're imbibing those qualities from that person that you would like to have. And I believe that this is the easiest and interesting way to develop those good qualities in yourself, because it's kind of effortless. If you like some person, if you're interested in some person, it's not that you're putting a lot of effort into finding out who they are and so forth. So this is the technique that I wanted to share with you. I hope you will try it out, and it really works if you spend a lot of time alone, because then your mind can really focus on that one object. And if you have a very busy life, it will be more difficult, but still it's definitely doable. And to end this video, I would like to thank those people who ordered my natal chart assessment. Thank you so much for trusting me to analyze your natal charts for your relationships. And thank you for those who sent me testimonials and thank you notes. I really appreciate that. And there were also several requests of me analyzing natal charts in terms of health and general life review. And yes, I will soon be doing this, the general life assessment as seen in the natal chart, because I just published a limited number of slots for the love relationship assessment to find out whether I would enjoy analyzing other person's birth charts, and I found out that I love it. And it's so amazing because when I analyze natal charts, I am totally focused on that one chart, and I can feel the energy of that person just through the birth chart. This is just so amazing. Planets, stars, they're living beings. And I always, you probably, if you watched my videos before, you know that I sometimes at night go out and I watch stars, and they are living beings. And I always wanted to understand what those stars are. And I believe that because of this, they influenced me to start taking astrology more seriously, because before I studied it as well, but I did not understand its full importance. And now I'm understanding it, that stars and planets control us completely. And what's in the birth chart, it's the story of your life. It's it warns what will happen so that you're aware of it. It makes you understand how you're viewed by other people. It makes you see the qualities. It might be unpleasant qualities that you have and you might not even know it, because sometimes our egos are good at hiding this fact, but it's all there in the chart, and it can warn you what you'll be aware of. Because sometimes, for example, as in my natal chart, I have to avoid partnerships, and in relationships in general I'm going to be hurt. It's just particular the aspects and the way that the planets are combined with each other, and asteroids and other things, they create certain combinations, and they can influence a certain area of your life for good or bad. So if you know it, if you know, for example, that you should not form any partnerships because it will end in some kind of disaster, or to be that you have to be very careful with fire and so forth. It's just knowing these things is really precious, because then you can be prepared. You know what you have to be careful about. You know what you're good at. You know what action to take to become a happier, a more prosperous human being, and so forth. It's all those potentials, all of these things are written in your charts. So I'm very excited to keep studying astrology. So soon I'm going to analyze natal charts in terms of general life review, and I will also give an option to for people to ask me to focus on a particular subject more than on other subjects. So basically it will be a life review, and there will also be an option to select what area of life in particular you want me to analyze. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break, because I already analyzed 9 natal charts, and it's the first time that I did it, so I need to relax. I spend a lot of time focusing on that, and of course it takes a lot of energy out. So I'm going to relax a bit, keep studying astrology, and maybe from next week I'm going to again start analyzing the charts. But if you want to secure the slots so that you don't miss again this limited number of slots that I have, you can pre-order your natal chart assessment now, and after around 7 days I will resume this assessment. I will start analyzing the charts again, and then within probably a week from that time you will receive your natal chart assessment. So that's all I wanted to share with you in this video. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day. God bless you and take care.